Hello, everybody. I want to do this live. I wanted to do it this morning. I went out boating. I tried to share that adventure on the North Saskatchewan River with all of you. I guess the video didn't save. It didn't go through. But I had a great day. But what I didn't have a great day of is recent publications on agricultural land Canada. And so many folks have no clue where our major drivers of inflation are coming from. And I'm going to say this by the numbers, and I have it all. I'm going to do a post following this video, and I'll link it in the title. And of course, it'll be on Facebook. But actual agricultural land made available for Canadians. In Canada, we can go province by province. And what came out today, folks, disturbing, over the top, completely off the charts, is the fact that in 2 years' time, and I watched it, I was in Ontario, agricultural land in Ontario went from $22,000 an acre, which is insane. It's insane. You want to talk about inflation, massive property tax yields, the rest of it is the property values in Canada way over and above what's reasonable in any measurable stick. In fact, the rates get so high now of acres in Canada for agriculture, this is farmland, that they're beyond what anyone could yield food at a reasonable rate. Meaning the producers produce the food, the crops aren't even annually worth what the land value beholden to those people is listed at. You can't make a viable society with that, none whatsoever. Prime example, from 22,000 in Ontario to 39,000 an agricultural acre. It's insane. If you think that is the highest inflation of land in Canada, you'd be mistaken. You'd have to come to the place of my birth. It's called Peace Country, Peace River, Alberta. It's way north. It's up in Treaty 8 territory. In fact, it's so far north that Moscow, Russia, we're up into Siberia territory, the equivalent of Canada. And there's farmland there. I know, because that's how my parents got their big start. And that inflation on that land alone, way up in Arctic territory, is going for 11,000 an acre. An acre, folks. You can't create crops. You can't create anything viable to eat as an everyday Joe Jane at those price values. Now, I want to go back here for a minute. So Ontario is a massive province. It's the biggest province in land area, taken and redrawn when they did the treaties. They added a whole northern section, but that upper and lower Canada, the original Ontario, Quebec, where the private property exists, very limited, there is only 11 million acres of actual agricultural land. To put it in perspective, there are 2.45 billion acres. That's what's called Canada. They say you can't farm any of that. Most of it is not arable. If that was true, my ancestors would not have made their stake and claim and created the farmland they did. My own father, my birth father, and my birth mother would not have made their claim in Peace River, Alberta. In fact, all the way up it goes to high level. Nobody would have viable farms if that was true. That land was not prairie, that was forest. I know, because even still to this day my parents hold their acreage, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trees transplanted by my father by hand from that farm that he cleared. Yeah, it was forest, and he cleared it for cultivation and farming. And yes, he did really well in the early 70s. He sold that land cultivatable, and everybody did well with it. Canadians, we have not released any of that 2.45 billion acres to the people of Canada. We have stayed. If you hear sirens, it's because I'm at the local police station. I don't think I can get zapped here, and my 5G works really good. So I apologize, but you're going to get that. 2.45 billion acres that doesn't belong to any of you. Not the First Peoples. They're not curators of it. They're not there. They're on 0.2%. The reserves. Canadians are on 9% that we continually subdivide. We've subdivided everything in Canada. Everything. As much as you can subdivide. Pounding more and more people at phenomenal immigration rates beyond any normal measurement of any of the countries of the UN. You will not find USA and Russia participating in this. You won't find China ever participating in this. You'll find France and UK most definitely participated in this. Other European countries, all colonials, participate in this. The problem is, Canada, all of our rates of radical inflation, overvalued land, property, buildings, comes from the fact we're dumping more and more people on the same availability of land that's been here for more than 100 years. The Crown holds the rest. They say it's theirs, not yours. You're to have less land availability than communist China. 2.2 times less. Folks, energy, food, housing, none of it's going to go down in Canada. It's only going to explode. You can look at Doug Ford, Justin Trudeau, tag team partners for Ontario. They're talking about making 200,000 new homes over the next 10 years. They take in over 500,000 people every year. Do the math. That won't work out. It will never yield to anything but radical, out of control inflation. We can't grow food at a reasonable rate, not at $39,000 a farmland acre. Ask any farmer. Ask them. Ask an Alberta farmer. Alberta has 5 times more farmland than Ontario, but Ontario is valued now more than Alberta officially today. 5 times less, 1.5 times more the value of Alberta. Do you not see it? I'm sorry, it's upsetting. This is probably the worst video I've ever had to make and try to articulate for people to understand what evil has befallen Canada. It's not by foreign elites or by foreign corporations who are resoundingly making a lot of money off this. It's your politicians, elected and appointed. All stripes. You won't get any real true publications or cry-outs from any of the politicians, they're raking in the money. They're in the crown. They love it, love it, love it. I don't know about everybody's family history. I'm upset. My family history, my ancestors came here literally as slaves on the land. They didn't own the land they were on. They worked for the land lord, land baron, crown, tyrant. They had nothing. They got on a ship. They came over here with nothing. And they made their way. They settled lands that they were told were made available. And it was all a lie. And this whole country has been a lie. And a lie that isn't changing. In fact, it's expanding at an extraordinary rate. Folks, your problems are not foreign fed. They're right here at home with corrupt politicians. All stripes, all parties. That's where they make their money, and they're enjoying the wealth at your expense. Food inflation is not going down. In fact, we are going to probably triple USA by next year. That is a fact. Share this video. Get it out there. We have to find a way to fight back. And there is a legal way. I want to do that, but it's hard. It's so very hard. What I've read and what I've went through today is unbelievable. The amount of agricultural land being seized and put out to housing and city infrastructure is way beyond the amount that people need to function a real society. Where are we going to get our money to feed ourselves? Where are we going to generate that? It doesn't look like there is any. Share the video. Get it out there. Wake people up. It's real, credible, verifiable. And if you don't, you're going to watch the destruction of your fellow man right here in this country, beyond all others, at a way higher rate, at a way higher pace. Crown colonialism. It doesn't work. It's never worked. And there's nowhere to go. It has to be solved here at home. We the people. Thanks. That's my video. Share, share, share. Bye now.